Now, next, I want to talk about an important perspective shift that you need to make as you're identifying the products and services that you're going to sell to help make money. And that is that when you start a business, you become an instant entrepreneur. Now, most people who start businesses become identified with the product or service that they sell. It becomes personal. Now, those that have consistent money-making success separate themselves from both the business and the product. Instead, they see themselves as problem solvers, opportunity identifiers, and money-making system creators. In other words, they see themselves as entrepreneurs. Now, this is one of the biggest pitfalls that I see in business, and it's something that we really have to watch out for, because I think it's kind of natural as a human, natural as a person, to fall prey and fall into this trap and fall into this pitfall. And it is to really really get attached to, really believe in the product or service that you're going to sell and making it personal. I was talking to someone recently who, let's just say, does some work for me, right? Somebody that occasionally does some work for me. And this person was telling me about a product that they're creating. And they've put a lot of time and energy and money into developing this product, okay, without ever testing to see whether or not it would be something that people want to buy. They've now been working on their product so long that they've become identified with their product. It's become personal. They now believe that their product has to work. Okay? Instead of seeing themselves as an entrepreneur, as someone who tests out different ideas, as someone that finds problems to solve, as someone who's probably not going to make all their money from this one, but they'll make some money from this one, and some money from the next one, and some money from the next one, they've become very, very attached to the idea that this is the one that's going to work. And so they're putting a lot of time into trying to find someone to market the product and try to find someone to buy the idea from them. And it's very challenging to talk to this person or really try to talk sense into them because they're so convinced that it's going to work. A good example you may have seen is, maybe someone who got involved in a business opportunity or got a job selling something, or maybe started with a network marketing company that you may know. Have you ever met someone who is just totally convinced that what they have is going to absolutely change the world, and if you do not get on board with it right now, you're going to miss out in a huge way, right? Of course, we've all met someone like that. Most of us have been that person at some point in our lives. And then after a while, we realize, it really didn't work out the way I thought. The company didn't work out. The opportunity didn't work out. It just wasn't exactly the way that I thought it was. Well, this is the mistake of making it personal, of getting too identified. Okay? And as I mentioned, successful business people that really actually make money, they don't identify themselves so much with the product or service. I mean, they may believe in it, they may really like it, but they separate themselves from both the business and the product. And what they look at themselves as is a problem solver. Okay? Someone who can identify opportunities and then make money by closing those gaps. And there's a great entrepreneurial teacher, his name's Dan Sullivan. He started a program called the Strategic Coach, which is a very high-end coaching program that you attend, which costs, in the neighborhood of $10,000 a year to attend. And he's really taught me some important things about entrepreneurs. And one of the things that he says is that if you're an entrepreneur, you never run out of opportunity. And in fact, as the world changes faster and faster, there's more and more opportunity for you. Most people are looking for comfort, and they're looking for security, and they're looking for a job that's going to last a long time. And what they're finding right now is that whole reality that we used to live in, where you'd get a job and work for a company long term, that's all going away. That's disappearing. Job length is shortening. Career changes are going faster and faster. I recently interviewed Harvey Mackay, who's the author of the book Swim with the Sharks Without Being Eaten Alive. He's sold over 10 million business books now. And he's got a new book that he's come out with recently called "Use Your Head to Get Your Foot in the Door." And in this book and in some of the promotions that he's done, he's citing Department of Labor statistics that we're going to have something like 3 to 5 career changes on average before we reach age 38. And I think it's in the neighborhood of 10 to 12 job changes during that same period on average. Right? So that whole paradigm that we used to live in, where we have security in a job, is going away. And it's happening because change is just happening faster and faster. And you're watching as entire business models are coming and going in the span of a few years. And you've seen it with music, where CDs got replaced by music downloads, and you've seen big companies close right in front of you. You're seeing it online with various companies like social networking. There were social networks that started several years ago, and then all of a sudden we had MySpace that came in and became very successful and was purchased for lots of money, and then all of a sudden Facebook came out of nowhere and is dominated, and we have yet to see what's going to happen down the road. All of these things equal big change. They equal a lot of instability for people that are looking for secure jobs, but they create a lot of opportunity for people who are entrepreneurs, who aren't attached to any one idea, but they're just constantly looking for problems to solve, opportunities to take advantage of, and places where they can see a gap between what's needed in the marketplace and what exists in the marketplace, and then go create it. So when you re-identify yourself, not as the person that's selling this product, or not as a person who's just in this business, and not as someone who's taking it personal, and as an entrepreneur, this gives you a huge advantage, because then you're looking for opportunities all the time. You're looking for ways to close gaps and solve problems for people, and you're not limited. Okay, you're not trapped inside of one idea. I was fortunate enough last year to interview Richard Branson, who's a multi-billionaire, one of the most successful people of all time, someone who has hundreds of companies and has launched businesses in everything from record stores to airlines to health clubs and everything in between. And he just looks for great opportunities. He's constantly on the lookout for new opportunities, and he's grown so many businesses, so many million-dollar companies that you really just lose count of them all. So think of yourself as an entrepreneur, and as you're looking at the marketplace and you're looking for product and service opportunities out there, think of yourself as someone that continues to find problems to solve with products and services. Think of yourself as an entrepreneur who's going to continually find these opportunities, and not someone that's attached to just one idea. An additional benefit here is that if your idea doesn't work out, it doesn't really take you down. You don't get too upset. But even more importantly, if you start something and then someone else succeeds or does better than you selling the idea, or if someone rips off your product idea or your marketing, which happens to all of us at one time or another, you don't go into a depression or a funk because someone else is copying your thing. You realize, you know what? I'm an entrepreneur. I can keep going. I can create more great ideas than people can rip off or steal, and you've always got something to rely on.